This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Hey, here it is, Tuesday. Everybody's good, I guess. I've asked our good friend and a good friend of the people of Belleville and St. Clair County, I asked Mr. Dallas Cook, who I think is going to make history. I asked if he could take his lunch break early because I know all the idiots up there at Belleville, every time he's on my show for a few minutes, they say he's on city time. Well, the mayor is out there politicking every day. All you ignorant bastards on the old good government party are politicking every day. So don't play. Dallas Cook is fighting for the people of Belleville. He's fighting for the people of St. Clair County. Dallas Cook is transparent. He's done everything to make that office transparent, and I want to salute him for that. But anyway, Dallas will be in shortly. He has filed objections, as I'm going to file complaints with the Judicial Inquiry Board, as another person are going to file lawsuits against our three stooges, the three stooge judge candidates, the three bastards. And these people, and I'll talk to Dallas about it when he arrives, these people take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. They take an oath to uphold the Constitution for this great state of Illinois. And now they're going to circumvent it? And old pea-head, dumbass, good-for-nothing son of a bitch, Chief Judge John Red on the Noodle, like a pecker on a poodle. And again, I gotta quit doing that because I want to apologize because them peckers on the poodle ain't as big as you know what his Bear Civic is. He doesn't have a big one. He is a big one. There's a difference. But this son of a bitch, and this is what pisses me off more than anything. Well, I'm going to run. I'm going to run because I want to give people the opportunity. Are you nuts, Bear Civic? Don't try to shove crap down our throat and ask us how good the caviar tastes. That's what pisses me and everybody I've talked to, and you people listening, I know it pisses you off. Don't insult your intelligence. He can insult mine. I have none. He's wasting time trying to insult my intelligence. But you intelligent people out there, he should run for retention. And that's 60%. But no. He wants 50.1%. And that's not what the Constitution says. And we're going to talk with Dallas Cook about that momentarily. And again, I want to thank Dallas if he's on his way in. He said he'd take his lunch break, but he doesn't have a lot of time because he wants to get back and service the good people of the city of Belleville. And also, he's on the ballot now. We'll talk about that. He is the candidate for circuit clerk. And I'll tell you, couldn't be a better guy. This Cahilia, Pachilia, whatever the hell her name is, Dixon, or our husband's a judge now, and he's unqualified. Her husband's father, Will Clay the first or the third or whatever they got, first, second, and thirds. He's not qualified to be the chief of police. But you notice they've got everything sucked up, boy. They've got everything. And I don't mean that literally, I don't think. But I don't have any housekeeping. Let's take care of on this date. And I got a few things. And then I'm sure Mr. Cook will be coming in momentarily. And we're going to talk about the egregious act of these three judges, the three stooges of St. Clair County. And people, you ought to be offended. Everyone ought to be offended. Those guys under the state constitution of Illinois should be running for retention. But no, they know they can't get 60% of the vote. So Barra Civic. And Barra Civic, how's Blowjob doing? How's BJ Barra Civic? And it's okay. And I mean this. It's okay that a son run for something and a father, because it's everybody's right to. But when you get such bad candidates like these two, Barra Civic has been eating at the trough for over 35 years. See, this ignorant bastard doesn't have anything else to do. So he's going to come and continue to try to aggravate us. Yeah, they can all kiss my ass. Let's get on this date. This is more important than them son of a bitches anyway. Yeah. On this date, December the 3rd, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln announced his plan for the reconstruction of the South. On this date, December the 8th, 1941, after them no good son of a bitches at that time, no good son of a bitches, Japanese, them no good son of a bitches, we declared war on Japan. And Congress passed it on this date, December the 8th, 1941. After them no-count rotten bastards, it was the old okey-doke. I don't know all my history, but I know those son of a bitches were talking a peace and a treaty in Washington, D.C., and as they're talking, we get bombed. You know what I'd have done with the Hiroshima bastard, whatever the prime minister of Japan? I'd have cut his head off right at the White House. They killed over 3,000 of our brave military heroes. And here's a president talking this no-count son of a bitch Japanese bastard as our troops, our brave military heroes are dying. See that politically correct crap? And we'll talk about Donald Trump. I'm tired of this. I was tired of this politically correct crap 6 years ago. Trump started a little late, but that's okay. He's going to catch up. Wish I'd have taken my medication today, because this is all pissing me off. Breathing at this point is pissing me. Not me breathing, them guys breathing. Politically, of course, because I don't want to be charged with threatening somebody or wishing somebody was dead. I'll dream about that at night. On this date, December the 8th, 1953, Los Angeles became the third largest city in the United States. L.A. edged out Philadelphia for the number 3 slot. Today, Los Angeles is the second largest city in the United States, hot on the heels of New York City. On this date, December the 8th, 1966, the United States and Russia signed a treaty to prohibit nuclear weapons in outer space. On this date, for all you Beatle fans, on this date, December the 8th, 1980, John Lennon was assassinated. He was shot by Mark David Chapman. On this date, December the 8th, 1995, the first 75-mile-an-hour speed limit signs were installed in Montana and Wyoming. That's what happened on this date, December the 8th, throughout all these years in our world's history. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com, one word, common spelling. Please like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM and our sister station for the best in the golden oldies, KZQZ 1430 AM. You can also hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m. and also now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night, Monday through Friday at the stroke of midnight. But I have to tell you, our midnight broadcast is only on 1190 KQQZ, not on 1430. So for everyone who wants to hear it at midnight because you're up working or stealing something, you can listen to us on KQQZ 1190 AM. Jerry Rosh, my good buddy, an all-American veteran, and yes, Jerry, you are. He says, Bob, you ought to take the money instead of not taking the money from the state and pass it out to the needy in your district. You will be helping the people that need it. And you know the state would never do that. And Jerry, you're exactly right. The way I know some of my tax money is really doing some good, that way I know my tax money is really doing some good for the needy instead of the high rich people running the state that don't need it. Jerry Rosh, all-American veteran. Jerry, I salute you as a veteran, and I salute you because you're pretty intelligent. You're exactly right. The state's not going to do a damn thing for us. Guy Don Carlos, Guy, thank you very much. He sent me an email trying to get everybody to attend the Cahokia Village meeting tonight at 7 p.m. It'll be held at the Cahokia Village Hall, 103 Main Street in Cahokia. That Curtis McCall Jr., I guarantee you, it's like we don't need to expand the zoo over in St. Louis. Cahokia's got its own zoo every time there's a village board meeting. And Don Carlos asked if everybody that may show up to support the lone wolf, Jerry Nichols and Gary Carnwell, and the group fighting that culture of corruption in Cahokia, bring a canned or boxed food item to donate to the embattled Cahokia Food Pantry. Guy Don Carlos, thank you very much. That's awful nice of you. And they've got a group coming down there to Cahokia, and they're going to be in Belleville and all around the county. It's based on the Illinois Public Access Counselor's Office about opinions about what's going on, and it's a watchdog group, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting all throughout St. Clair County in the next 12 months, because November of 16, you're going to see, we're going to be like janitors, because we're going to be the best janitors you ever saw, because we're going to clean house. We're going to clean the house at the St. Clair County Courthouse. And Larry from Shiloh says, Bob, run. Just a short note. I wish your constituents would write to the Belleville News Democrat. Wish they'd sign their name. I know that you'll do a good job. I'll be glad when you and Cook change the culture of corruption. Larry from Shiloh. Well, Larry, we're going to change the culture of corruption. We've run a whole ticket. I found out today there's no contestants, no objection to all the Republican nominees or the Democratic nominees, so we're all on the ballot. That no good son of a bitch Mike Madigan had pulled my petition. I had 7 people looking at my petition to try to get me thrown off. So apparently, either somebody don't like me or somebody's afraid that we're going to stir up enough to take some seats from these Democrats who have been in, who'd been in about 40 years. Now, I got to tell you, people, if you get a ball player and you get him for 1 year, see, and he's supposed to be good, and he doesn't hit very well, you give him another year, put him through spring training. You give him a third year, maybe he had a psychological problem, something come up. He's still young enough, we can cultivate him. But when that same son of a bitch sits there and bats 35 and strikes out 5,000 times, you don't keep him on the team for 40 years. And that's what they've done in St. Clair County. You guys have kept these rotten bastards on the team for 30, 40 years. And I like Mike Costello, not a bad guy, never had a problem with him. He's been there long enough to retire. Why do these people, Rick Stone, I finally run him out of office. I run Eddie Jackson out. Mike Costello, 35 years, it's time to go. These people, they want to die in office, and somebody told me this, and it may not be true, and we're going to talk about Judge Lachine, but I think it is true. Number one, they keep him around. He hardly ever shows up, and we're going to be able to prove that, but he's their hitman, their legal hitman. When there's some bad crap going on, they hand it to Lachine, and Lachine will rule the way they want to. And if most people will notice, every time there's a big case coming down from Springfield, this is just my observation, they always have local co-counsel. And the co-counsel is always God Sprague. God walks in that room and them judges look up, and whatever kind of ruling that Bob and his people want, they usually get. And up until I started exposing them 3 or 4 years ago, every time that a new judge got sworn in, got appointed and sworn in, one of the first people they thanked, and if I'm lying, I'm dying, and you can take this to the bank. I want to thank my mom and dad, and I want to thank Bob Sprague. What the hell are you thanking Bob Sprague for when the judges are supposed to be the one? Hey, I'll give you $20,000, Sprague, and all you judges, if you can pass a polygraph test and say Sprague wasn't involved in the picking of all these judges. $20,000, and I'll give another $20,000 to the needy, to the poor, to the hungry, to the homeless. That's $40,000 of my money. Come on, Sprague. Put your money where your big, greasy, stupid mouth is. And you're talking about the chairman of the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee? I kiss my ass. You're not a chairman. You want to make a chairman on a pimple's ass or vice versa. You're a piece of crap, God Sprague. You helped pick, in my opinion, you helped pick all these judges. Now, if you didn't, come on up. I tell you what, send Kern up. All these politicians got their hands in every judicial appointment. And if they say any different, they're lying. They're damn liars. You won't get that from the judges, though, because the judges are too afraid. And there's a lot of good judges up there. Some, not so good. But when they start wrapping truly politics around our judicial system, it doesn't play well. There he is, our good friend, and the man of the hour. And I want to salute him because he had the gumption. And I don't know, Mr. Dallas Cook. Dallas, how the hell are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. Good morning, Bob.
Why the hell? Why would, I'm kind of mad at you, Dallas. Why would you drive all the way up to Springfield, take your time to get these objections together, and go up there and object to the egregious act these son of a bitches doing? How come you're not like everybody else and just going to let it go?
Because here in St. Clair County, even our judges do not follow the law, and that's amazing. But somebody had to do something about it. So at the last second, I threw together an objection on the basis of the fact that the Illinois State Constitution requires that those sitting judges run for retention.
Here, Dallas, take this. I know you can't get it verbatim. Read some of that you filed, and all the three of the judges are the same, right? You filed all three the same. Let the people kind of know the premise for what you filed. Do you have enough there, or do you need something else?
Yeah, sure. Well, it starts off with I, Dallas B. Cook. I reside at 601 Lucinda Avenue, which means I live in the circuit. Second, that I'm objecting to the nomination papers of John Barasivic, Robert Hayda, and Robert Lachine. My objection is that in the Constitution of the State of Illinois, Article 6, Section 12D, requires all circuit court judges to seek retention for the office of circuit court judge and not re-election. My objection also states that in the Constitution of the State of Illinois, Article 6, Section 12D, requires all circuit court judges to file for retention not less than 6 months before the general election preceding the expiration of their term of office. My objection states also that John Barasivic, Robert Hayda, and Robert Lachine failed to file nomination papers for retention as circuit court judge. It's very simple what it comes down to. They sent a retirement letter to the Supreme Court of the State of Illinois stating their intention to retire in December of next year. So that, therefore, creates a vacancy in the circuit. There are 3 vacancies created by the 3 individuals who retired. Those 3 individuals are now running for their seats. So they are usurping the Illinois State Constitution. They are breaking the state law, and it cannot be allowed. And I'm asking the Honorable Election Board to please take a stand for the people of the state of Illinois and of St. Clair County and of the 20th Judicial Circuit and stop this madness. What they're doing is wrong.
Dallas, you're exactly right. And when you said retirement, they all sent in their retirement means they've got more than enough time to retire to get their full pension. And I asked, just like I said before you came in, these son of a bitches want to rot in these offices. They want to die in these offices instead of letting somebody else come up and have a take and have a shot at being a good judge. I mean, it's unbelievable, but you're exactly right, Dallas. I watched them one year. They stuck their hand up, put their hand on a Bible, and swore to uphold the state of Illinois Constitution. And here they're violating the exact thing that they're sworn to uphold. It's like, do as I say, not as I do.
It's about money, control, and power. And what they're doing here, the reasons for the law is because a judge shouldn't be a Republican or a Democrat. But see, here in St. Clair County, which is predominantly Democrat currently, they want to hold on to these positions. And so the reason for the law is that if you have a county that's heavy one way, but you have a judge who's no good, then that judge can still be thrown out regardless of political party because the voters have to retain them. That means that they have to receive 60% of the vote. That's why if you're a judge, you should be doing a good job every day so that when it comes time for your retention, the majority of the people should say, hey, that's a good judge. Or if the majority of the people say, hey, it's not, then you're done. And that's why the Constitution was set up that way, to protect us, the people, and not allow the power to go to a few, which St. Clair County is the prime example in this country of power of the few for the few.
That's Dallas, you're exactly right. I read through a lot of this and had a couple of attorneys advise me. And they're held, these judges, after 6 years, the Constitution has held them to a higher standard because they've been a judge for 6 years, so they have to be retained, not reelected. But for them to think, and especially Barasivic's been all around the horn, And it's a shame whenever they're going to do this, not to me and not to you only, but to everybody in St. Clair County. It's not fair. It's unconstitutional. And how can you have a guy like Barasivi who circumvents and I believe violates the state constitution? How the hell can we have him as the chief judge meting out punishment for other criminals?
We can't have that. Our judges have to follow the law better than anyone else. And when we go in their courtroom, we need to trust them that there's only one thing that's going to help them make their decision, and that's the law. And these judges are breaking the law. My intention is not to disrespect the office of judge. It is not to disrespect these judges. I do not know any of these gentlemen at all. This is not personal. It's a matter of protecting the citizens.
You know, Dallas, unlike if you had been objected to on the ballot and got thrown off, the Republican Party could have caucused you in. They could have caucused me back in. Now with the judges, if these guys are thrown off the ballot, and if this doesn't get them, and this should, but there's a lot of politics being played in Springfield, as you know, I think the lawsuit that I hear is going to be filed shortly. I think if that makes it to the Supreme Court, I think the Supreme Court will rule that these guys have retired. They didn't run for retention, so they're out of there, which means that the Democratic Party can't caucus, which means there'll be a couple, 3 Republican judges, which means that it'll be a check and balance in St. Clair County judicial system.
That's right, and I have the highest confidence in the Supreme Court of the state of Illinois. We've seen what they did in East St. Louis with Alvin Parks. He didn't get enough signatures. Our local judges kept him on the ballot. Then it goes to the Supreme Court, and look at it. Unanimous decision to kick him off the ballot. They will do what's right. We can't count on the local guys who are appointed by the party bosses, but we can still count on the Supreme Court of the state of Illinois. And I'm hoping to take my case, Cook versus Barasivic, Cook versus Hayda, and Cook versus Lachine, to the Supreme Court and get this taken care of for once and all and set the precedent so this will never happen again.
When have they told you or advised you, or have they, Dallas, when this is going to be heard?
Well, we will be notified by registered mail when the hearing takes place in Springfield. And I will go and I plan to represent myself against the 3 judges. And I'll tell you what the election board said to me when I turned in my objection. She said, we heard they were going to do this, then we were told they weren't, and then they did it. That was her exact words. It's disgusting. The state knows it's wrong. The question is, can we get somebody to follow the law and correct this?
I think the state Supreme Court justices are waiting for something like this, because if this makes it to the Supreme Court, and in my opinion, if the Supreme Court doesn't rule to throw them off, then we might as well not have a state constitution, because we can circumvent, if we can circumvent this law, we can circumvent every law, that if it's not binding, then why have a state constitution?
That's exactly right. We have laws. We must follow them.
Well, hey, Dallas, we're going to take a quick break. Stick around if you got a few minutes. You get an hour for lunch. Stick around.
Sure, I'd love to.
I want to talk about my good friend, Donald Trump. We've actually got a call in him to come on the air and be interviewed. And as crazy as I am, as crazy as he is, it may happen. We'll be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, and I'm pretty crazy. I'm really insane. I like that name, Insane Broadcasting. Nobody likes it. Kiss my ass. Don't care. Where am I at? America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are the Patriot. With me an honored guest and a true friend and a fighter for the people of St. Clair County, Mr. Dallas Cook. We're talking about the objections that he so bravely filed because, I talk about these bastards every day. You can't believe the calls I get. Watch out, Romanik. You're going to get hurt. You're no good son of a bitch. Watch out, they're going to set you up. And I say to all of them, kiss my ass, come get me. You know where I'm at. The clown's driving the clown car today. Come and get me. Quit threatening. I don't cater to threats, you ignorant son of a bitches, and I don't think Dallas Cook does either. We've got some callers. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hi, Bob. How are you? This is La Nina Casey.
Hey, La Nina, congratulations. I knew they were going to try to throw you off the ballot, but you are certified at this point, the Republican candidate for circuit judge against Shecky Lachine. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. And I do want to thank all of the citizens of St. Clair County who signed my petition to put me on the ballot. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to serving them once again. I also want to say thank you, Dallas, for filing that much-needed objection. You are exactly right. You are exactly right on point. The office of judge shall be vacant upon that particular judge's death, resignation, retirement, removal, or upon the conclusion of his term without retention in office. Judge Lachine and all of them retired. They retired. All of them have more than enough time put in to retire. Judge Lachine has been up there a judge for 28 years. 28 years.
Hey, well, Linnea, let me correct that. Might have been a judge for 28 years, but what I've been told, he's probably only spent 1 year at the courthouse, and that's my opinion, not yours. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, I know what I see and what I don't see. I'll just say that. And I do want to say, Bob, you were wrong about all the judges having been handpicked by Bob Sprague. He did not handpick me.
Well, I apologize.
I didn't mention him not once in my
But La Nina, what about everybody else? Now there may be one or two, but everybody that got appointed up until I started exposing him. I want to thank Bob Sprague for his help. I don't want to put you on Front Street because that's why you're no longer a judge. Because in my opinion, I know you can't talk about it because you're an attorney and you've got some kind of ethical crap. I don't give a damn about ethical crap. Right. You wouldn't kiss their ass. You wouldn't go along with their good old boys program. You wouldn't go along with the culture of corruption. And then all of a sudden, you're not worth a damn, so they boot your ass out. And I know. You don't have to comment on it. Everybody knows what happened. But now you're a candidate, and you're a candidate against Bob Lachine, a guy who's never at the courthouse. Never, ever at the courthouse. And you know what I was told? And the guy may be a nice guy. I was told this from some friends of his. His health isn't all that good. He wants to retire, die. He wants to die on that bench so his family will get his life insurance. Now, Judge Lachine, if that's not true, come here, take a polygraph, and if that's not part of the reason you're staying on the bench, I'll give you $20,000 if you pass the polygraph. But I think, in essence, they want to keep him on the bench, La Nina, because anytime, and I said it earlier, anytime there's some stuff that stinks, some judicial crap and legal crap that stinks, they give it to the stinkmeister, Judge Lachine.
Well, Bob, I'm not one that...
You can't comment.
Well, I mean, I could if I really wanted to.
Then come on. Come out of that shit.
I could if I really wanted to, but I don't want to, I'm treading on thin ice. And I do want to say that sentiment about people running because they can say much more about any drug scandals, that is not true. That is absolutely not true because they are still judges and they're still bound by the Code of Judicial Ethics. Any lawyer that runs for judge is bound by the Code of Judicial Ethics. So there can't be anything more that he can say now as a candidate that he couldn't say as a candidate for retention.
Yeah,
so that's ridiculous. It's circumventing the Constitution. by all stretch of the imagination, and it's horrible, and it's disingenuous.
Yeah.
It's disingenuous. And when I was put on the bench, when I was placed on the bench, there was a problem with me being appointed to that position. That is the reason why 2 months after I was appointed, these judicial polls came out. 2 months. I have been dealing with these judicial polls and these lawyers rating me down for whatever reason. I said, forget it. I'm done. See you later. I'm out. So that is the reason why I wasn't retained. Now there are good judges up there. I cannot say there are not good judges. I will not defame the judiciary because I am a judge still. But that's just the way it is. I'm not employed in the judiciary, but I am a judge. I will forever be a judge because I was a judge for 12 years and I'm vested. So what these judges are doing is disingenuous. For Judge Lachine to retire, go through the effort of frauding the whole system. Good legal move. But how many times have citizens come in there and tried to get around the law, skirt the law, and judges have, stopped it?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Laninia, and thank you for the call. Let me make another point. Barasivic and Haida, and I like Bob Haida. I like him personally. I don't like the side he's on political, but I do like Bob Haida. I think he's an honorable man. Barasivic, I think, is a piece of crap, but that's okay. That's my opinion. But what they've done, because they knew they were wrong, and Dallas, I'll direct this to you, because if they weren't, why wouldn't Barasivic run for his own position back like Lachine has, and why wouldn't Haida run for his own position back? They know they're wrong, so they're even giving a bigger okey fadoke. They're switching their part down. Barasivic is going to run for Haida's vacancy, and Haida's going to run for Barasivic's vacancy. That even makes it that much more egregious and a slap in the face to everybody in the 20 Judicial Circuit.
Well, we saw them doing that, and that's exactly right what you said. They are flip-flopping positions so that they can, if the interpretation of the law is in a way that makes them look like they cannot retire and then run for their vacancy, they can at least say, well, actually, I'm running for his vacancy, and he's running for mine. How goofy is this? Yeah. These are professional judges that are doing these political moves. When are we going to wake up and go crazy and say, hey, no way. I mean, I cannot stand it. I'm thankful Laninia Kaysen is running and Mr. Ronald Dubert is running. I also want to congratulate you, Bob, and thank you for running. There's nobody I'd rather send to Springfield than you.
Well, you know what, Dallas? Well, yeah, you just want to send me to Springfield to get me the hell out of Belleville, but that's okay. Hey, Dallas, we're going to stick around if you would. I've just walked in Steve Denari, the executive director of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. He's going to get us up to par on what's going on in the county race, how many people have filed or who's filed what. But real quick, I got to say, Donald Trump, I ain't gay, but if I was gay and you lived in Illinois, I'd marry you. Because I'll tell you, they can talk about all that politically incorrect crap, and then this ignorant, stupid bastard, when I find it, this Islam bastard son of a bitch says on TV last night that what Trump's saying, that to keep all the Muslims out until we sort everything out is un-American. And I say, bull crap, you towelhead son of a bitch. Oh, that's not politically correct. Don't care. Any son of a bitch that's going to bring somebody over and kill and destroy our people, I'm for keeping all of them over in the country they came from. But I think when this bastard said it was un-American, I think it's un-American if we don't worry and don't protect all American citizens. Now, if there's some Islam religious people who are American citizens, let's bring them back. But people, I got to say, what's wrong with keeping these people? We can't vet these people. This gal just came in on a financee visa to marry her husband, and then they kill these 18, 20 people. I don't give a damn, and I mean this. If there's 50,000 Syrians or Muslims, and they're starving over there, and we bring them over here, and there's an opportunity that they're going to kill one American, which may be a member of my family, maybe you, maybe me, maybe a member of your family. I say, I want to protect my one American citizen. The hell with them foreign son of a bitches. I want to salute. And again, I am running for state rep. It's going to cost me votes maybe because I'm not politically correct. I'm politically insane. I love this great country. I love all of our people. And I think one American is worth more than every one of them rotten son of a bitches. They got this Sharia law that says women can't drive. They got to be covered up. And if a woman disrespects her husband, they can kill him. Now, how are they going to come in and acclimate themselves to this great United States? So if they're not coming over for that reason, what reason are they coming over for? They're coming over to kill us. So I say, and I like Jerry Falwell Jr., he said, everybody, and he's the president of Liberty University, he's a religious man, everybody get a gun and let's take them out before they take us out. So for you, Howard Trump, I want to salute you. In my opinion, you're a true American. You're half crazy like I am. You're half goofy like I am, but you got it right on. I don't give a damn. I would protect my people at any cost, whatever it takes. Shut the border, shut everything down until we do find out how these son of a bitches are getting there and what kind of organization they have coming to our country. Then after that point, let people in. But this is America. Now, you got to let our American Islamic people in. We don't have to let them far. I don't give a damn what the Supreme Court says. Those son of a bitches up in Washington kiss my ass, too. We're concerned about our people, not about being politically correct. We'll be back right after this message. This is Bob Romanik. A pissed off Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio. Yeah, all that thunder kissed my ass too. And you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Your guardian, you hear me? We guard the First Amendment. We love the First Amendment, and we'll continue to exercise our right to speak free. Radical Radio, if you haven't already noticed. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot. With me, and listen, people, I'll put the disclaimer, don't hold anything I say against Dallas Cook. He's got some intelligence, he's got some sense. I'm a nutty, ignorant son of a bitch, and I say that when I run for office. If you don't like me, and most people don't hold it against the guys running with me. Everybody's their own man. But having said that, Dallas, what is your take on this Islamic crap going on? And I don't want to put you on the spot, but you are running for election, and I'd like to know, because I'm voting for you, because you're by far the best qualified, but what's your position with what Donald Trump is saying?
Well, I think what he's saying is resonating with Americans, because I think we are concerned, we're scared, and we see a president who's weak. And he stands up there and he tells us, do not be afraid. And then he doesn't do anything to protect us. He doesn't stand up for us. We're not a leader in the world anymore. So we're looking for somebody who is strong and will tell us it like it is. So you see Mr. Trump, what he's doing is he's taking advantage of that. He is telling you exactly what you want to hear, and he is exactly right about what he's saying. So when that happens, even if you're a Democrat or Republican, you think, wow, well, about time somebody said that. I've been thinking that for a long time.
Right.
And he's just saying what you're thinking. And he's not afraid to do it, because he's not afraid to fail in politics. And that's the key. We don't need people who are going to be lifelong politicians who are going to do this for their profession and make all this money and do whatever. We need people who are going to get in, make a difference, tell it like it is, and do something. We're craving something in this country. Yep. We're craving somebody who's going to serve us, who's going to stand up and protect us. And that's what I want to. So.
Okay, you're kind of for Trump too then, huh? You're not endorsing him.
I'm not endorsing him. I'm a major fan. I'm a fan of quite a few of them. But I am looking for somebody to put America back in the forefront.
Well, I think it's going to happen. And one last thing, Dallas, and I always talk about Maximus Vaginas, and I won't mention his name because I don't want to disrespect you for your office because you got to work with the ignorant, no-count, stupid son of a bitch. But I'll give you your initials. Mark Eckert. He's ran every business out. Now, we talked off the air. The St. Louis Bread Company, by August, they'll be moving into the Belleville crossings. Now, Dallas, downtown, it's going to all dry up now without the bread company. That's why 75% of the people came down there. Now the bread company, and they've got every right to do it, going to Belleville crossings. But I said before, the whole inner city is being dried up for the perimeter of Belleville.
Yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts on that, Bob. You know, when I see this development taking place out on the outside corridors of the city, you know, it's a great thing. The city needs everything we can get. We don't have a hotel. We need one. But we're still waiting for one from these developers. That being said, the key to your city is the heart of your city. It's the infrastructure. It's the inside. It's the downtown. Okay, so when we take a look at our heart, our meat of our city, how does it look to you? How do the streets look? How do the businesses look? How do the homes look? That's the core of the city. We're going to go ahead and forget that part of the city, and we're just going to focus on the outside, and we're going to hope that somehow that saves us. That is not the way it works. You have to build from the inside out. You can't go from the outside in, otherwise you're just going to neglect the inside. When my father became mayor in 1993, there wasn't anything downtown Belleville. There was absolutely nothing. So he begged two companies to come there. The first one he went to was St. Louis Bread Company, and they came. The second one was Quiznos, and they came. Unfortunately, earlier this year, Mike from Quiznos had to shut his doors. Now, Bread Company will close its doors in August, and they will move out to the outside of the city on 15, where they hope to take advantage of this development and the tax incentives that come along with it. But unfortunately, to the people of the city of Belleville, the incorporated city of Belleville, I'm very concerned for you, and I think you need to start paying attention to what's taking place and hope that our city does not turn into some other cities that have crumbled in this area.
Mr. Dallas Cook, it's an honor and a privilege. The Belleville City Clerk, thanks for taking time out on your lunch break. Out the door, there's a Subway. Get a Subway, because I know your political enemies, they can be gone all day. But if you're gone an hour and 1 minute for lunch, and you know what I'd tell them, Dallas, to kiss my ass, and I know that's what you'd like to tell them. Mr. Dallas Cook, a stand-up guy. He's also the candidate for Circuit Clerk for St. Clair County, and we'll be having you back on here a little bit later because the primary's coming up, and then the general election. But best of luck to you, Mr. Dallas Cook, and the people of Belleville should be fortunate and happy to have somebody like you who's bringing transparency to your office and to the city of Belleville. Thank you very much, Mr. Dallas Cook.
Thanks, Bob. It's fun as always.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, with me, the executive director of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, Mr. Stephen Denari. Mr. Denari, how the hell you doing, buddy?
Well, I was doing better, Bob, this morning before I got back from downtown Belleville at the county office. It's a no-go. As I told you, I'd go down, get the list of all the objections so we can try to get those out to the people on the air.
Sure.
And they took a look at my name. They went back, talked to one lady. She came back and said, those won't be available till this afternoon, while I'm watching the woman looking down at the list.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they just wanted to avoid the exposure today, but I'll be down there this afternoon, and we'll get the exposure tomorrow.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve, those people don't know you. If people don't know Mr. Denari, he's a world traveler. Not only a world traveler, he's been a political consultant for presidential campaigns. Just so happens we were lucky enough to hire him to bring him down from Chicago to be the executive director of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. And Steve, they gotta get up awful early in the morning and know how to really play the game to outplay you. You know.
Well, Chicago's a little bit tougher market than down here, so we'll see, Bob. It's but I will tell you this. One thing that has shocked me, and maybe because it is so totally, out of control, doesn't have enough media like you're providing. If you did some of the things they do in St. Clair County and Chicago, you'd have 5 TV stations.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Down here, you're the voice of it. The folks in the media really aren't covering it, but for you.
Yeah, well, you know why they don't cover it? Because if you cover a politician too hard, then his friends who have businesses that advertise on your radio station or advertise in your newspaper, they're going to pull their ads. And that's what I say to all of them. Pull whatever ad you want, and I got something in my drawers you can pull. I'm going to say what I want, when I want. The News Democrat, they're shilling for Kernan, those guys, because the St. Clair County, the county commissioners and the county board they give a lot of advertising, a lot of legal advertising to the Belleville News-Democrat. That's why the Belleville News-Democrat the last 3 or 4 years, because they're drying up. That newspaper's drying up, and they're looking for money and resources anywhere they can get them. Now the county's smart. Kern and Sprague and the boys, they start throwing the Belleville News-Democrat some crumbs, and as you'll notice, they don't get hard and heavy on the county anymore. I got to say, I like Brendan Kelly. This crap with this gentleman, Mr. Reggie Allen, who allegedly ran over that black gentleman 5-6 years ago. It's been continuances for 5 or 6 years. Now it's on the front page. He could get probation. Now I got to ask, Stanley Franklin, the president of the NAACP, where are you at? Where are you at? I had somebody tell me on the website or the Facebook, whatever it is, hey, Romanik, there's some gal from Cahokia saying that you're a racist, you're this or that. Oh, I'm the racist. I'm the one that give Lewis Reed, the president of the St. Louis Board of Aldermen, $50,000 to run against a white guy. I'm the one to give Amika Jackson $35,000. I'm the one that furnished fans for Washington Park. I'm the racist. I'm the one to try to pay $10,000 so the black gal could walk down the aisle for graduation at Althoff. And I'm the racist? Where's the NAACP? Where are you at, Stanley Franklin? That's egregious what's going on in St. Clair County. They tried to give me, and I won the case in 3 minutes against the Sasquatch, hairy-ass Mrs. Kern. They were going to try to give me, offering me 6 months if I'd plead out. And I was found guilty by all 12 jurors in less than 3 minutes. They're going to wanted to give me 6 months in the county jail? And they're going to give this guy probation? And I know Jan Fisk, the judge, not a bad guy. Good friends with the defense attorney, Tom Daly, who I think's a no-good son of a bitch, but that's just my opinion. You're going to see what happens. What an egregious situation we have with the 20th Judicial Circuit in St. Clair County. And Chief Judge John Red on the Noodle, like a pecker on the poodle, is responsible for this big debacle that we call the judicial system, that I call a piece of crap, just part of the culture of corruption that needs to be destroyed in St. Clair County. Destroyed politically, of course. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be fighting these no-count political parasitical punks that we call politicians. We'll be fighting these judges who are trying to circumvent our great Illinois state constitution. These bastards in Belleville who think that they're above the law. They're above the law, my ass. We the people will come and we will destroy you rotten bastards, politically, of course, but we're going to destroy once and for all. Come November of 16, we're going to destroy this culture of corruption, and we're going to do something for the people of St. Clair County. And if it's not what you people want, don't wait 30 years to take us out, politically, of course. Do it the next election. Don't let us sit there for 20, 30, 40 years and promise you everything and give you nothing. They think we're stupid, people. We're not stupid. We were just complacent. We were just a little apathetic. But you hear me now. No more apathy in 2016. Only victory. And together we can win. So let's continue to expose these bastards day in and day out on this radio show, at the coffee shops. Talk to your friends at the grocery store, at the taverns. Let's expose these people. These, I call them people, but they're really not people. They're like political parasites. Let's expose them, continue to expose them. Let's drag them down the street down the street in embarrassment, because that's what they've done. They've embarrassed themselves and everybody in St. Clair County. And as you know, my favorite part of the show, what we get to do at the end of the day. We get to take knives, and we get to take hatchets, and we get to chop them up, and we get to cut them up and destroy them. Cut them up, chop them up, and destroy them. I mean, politically, of course. Right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.